As we've shown you over the past month, the newly opened National Museum of African American Music offers an exciting and interesting tour of many genres and even has a large interactive component. And since the museum is specifically anchored here in Music City, you'll see that country music has a strong connection to African Americans, even though it's been a struggle for people of color to be included.
This is the best location I think we could imagine in the state of Tennessee.
It took some time to get here.
Welcome African Americans to downtown Nashville, to Lower Broadway, in a way that culturally hasn't been the case.
But the National Museum of African American Music hopes to be an attraction for all Nashville visitors, including those who have made visiting the nearby Country Music Hall of Fame a must-see.
I think people will naturally be drawn to the music that they're most familiar with first, but what we hope is after that, they will kind of explore.
NMAAM curator Dr. Stephen Lewis says the Hall of Fame has been a big supporter.
The Country Music Hall of Fame, first of all, have been very supportive partners of ours from very early in our development. And I think that we can work together to kind of tell the story of American music, both here in Nashville and also nationally.
But if you know much about the country music business, you know that African Americans haven't necessarily been welcomed as country artists. It's a discussion that singer RISSI Palmer had with other country artists recently on her Apple Music country radio program, Color Me Country.
Country music has been continually defined as white men's music.
RISSI Palmer became only the second African-American woman to have a song show up on the country charts back in 2007. And although she left Nashville years ago, she's still making country music.
If it weren't for my time in Nashville, for the time that I spent trying to get a record deal and writing and learning everything, I wouldn't have been able to sustain myself these last 13 years. But in addition to that, I'm glad that everything that happened because I am ready now.
But is country music ready to welcome people of color now, especially given the recent unrest in America?
I mean, you know, regardless of how people feel about politics behind Black Lives Matter, we wouldn't be having these conversations if it weren't for that movement.
I am super excited to introduce to all of you.
One of RISSI's most recent guests was music superstar DARIUS RUCKER, who acknowledged the disparity not only in country music, but in the country.
It was Charlottesville, it was a whole bunch of stuff. Just watching the world that we knew changed. You know, watching how open it is, and to the people that are doing it, how they seem cool, how they think it's cool now to hate.
But RISSI, who recently co-hosted the CMT's Next Women of Country class of 2021, says she is cautiously optimistic.
I think that what artists of color can do to protect themselves is to protect themselves. Like I tell everybody, have an effective plan B. Like if you can't get in this way, then come around back and do it that way. I think that if you have the gift, if you have the work ethic, and if you have the fight, do it.
Vicki Yates, News Channel 5.